I usually use the tube, but if,
The
you got to
tube
get
being
some
the cream?
No, the tube is the deodorant stick.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. The deodorant stick is what I use. But if you need the cream for, hard to reach areas, like,
More creases?
some we won't get into tube, but others like maybe between your toes or.
Yeah, between your toes. Welcome, everyone, to the most wonderful time of the year and another episode of Coaches on Couches.
Being very festive.
Yep,
Yeah.
for sure.
And slouchy.
Yeah. Well, trying to keep posture up if you got bad back and neck.
Nope.
Don't slouch too much.
So today, we're going to bring you our holiday gift guide, gift ideas for runners, cyclists, and triathletes. So
Some may be repeats from
they
last
could
year.
be repeats. This was a pretty popular episode last year, so we're doing it again. But we might repeat them. But that just means that we really, really love these products.
If we do them twice in a row, you better.
Because I didn't go
better
back
buy
and
'em.
look.
No.
so
Why don't you go back?
so these
and
could be a
check?
complete repeat.
Yep.
All right, I am Coach Dale Sanford.
I'm Coach Chris Winter.
And I am Coach Bryant Funston. We are all coaches at BPC Performance Coaching, where we specialize in helping time-crunched athletes optimize their busy schedules so they can maximize their athletic performance. Every BPC coach is trained in our 5 Pillars coaching system, which has been developed over the last decade through our work with athletes of all ages and ability levels, from fresh off the couch to world championship competitors. You can find out more about BPC by going to buildpeakcompete.com, checking Facebook and YouTube at buildpeakcompete, or all up on the Instagram at BPC Performance. Man, jumbled it.
That's what you get for taking a couple weeks off. There,
Couple
Funston.
weeks, man, got no longer primed.
All right, so we'll get to the our list, but first, as always, shout-outs.
I mean, I think there's so many from
We're
the,
not gonna.
lot.
Yeah,
There's a
we
lot.
can't, we simply cannot go through every person. But first, we would just like to give a shout out to everybody who's already committed and signed up for the Memphis 70.3 half Ironman. If you were watching earlier or paid attention before we started, we're doing a free webinar on kind of beginner level training for that event.
Yeah, if you're a first timer, definitely we're gonna help clear the mud on how you should go about training for that.
So, you can go back, check our Facebook page on that, or you can go to our website and you can sign up for that. Even if you can't make it, you can get the recording by signing up for that. So, shout out to all those folks who committed to that inaugural, what's going to be an epic October.
For sure, yeah.
Secondary, well, not secondary, they're both great St. Jude events. Pretty good segue.
The St. Jude double.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
On our shout out list.
everyone who did the St. Jude, any of the St. Jude races, 5K, 10K, half marathon, full marathon. Chris has got a few. Coach Chris.
Yeah, I've got some people. My man William Hennessy down in Atlanta, Georgia, came up and ran it.
Yeah, I saw him.
Yeah, he did real well.
It's always funny. People, like, whenever I see people out on course, I'm like, it's hard to like pick people out. It's really hard.
Yeah, 'cause
so you see somebody, and even though you've seen them several times, you know who they are. You're like,
Yeah.
who is that? Who is it? Who is it? Who's it?
And
And then
go!
like, yeah, and then like,
Way to go, runner 23:17.
and
Wait a minute, what's
William
your name?
goes, hey, it's me, William. I'm like, I knew that, but you were just faster than me at that.
Yeah, William did real well. He had a big running year. He did a lot this
Yeah.
year, and he capped it off with a great marathon. And then Dwayne, Maggie, Wendy, they did it, and everybody finished it. That was training for it, and did well. Maggie, it was her first marathon, and she beat her goal by like 7 minutes. And
Awesome.
Dwayne overcame some injuries, and Wendy had some stuff pop up mid race, like with her back. So they all did great. I ran it myself. And it's a great day. Loved the marathon course, actually. Really liked the marathon course. There was a lot of people out supporting it, so it was a good day.
Yeah, I was out there all morning and went to the point where I was like freezing. And it wasn't that it was really that cold.
Yeah, it was like 40s, but if you're on a bike,
I rode my bike
around,
there and sweat kind of got wet, and then I was freezing.
Yeah.
I believe we covered that in our layering.
Yeah, go back and watch.
Sweat,
and
you're
listen to
wet.
that.
If you're wet, you're dead. So go back. I'm going to give a quick shout out to Lee Rustin. Lee went down in a bike wreck. She's going to have surgery, and just wishing her a speedy, quick recovery. And she's one of the most positive people out there. So
she's also one of the toughest. She's had a few wrecks in her days, and it's not slowing her down. So a lot of people would be.
The worst part of cycling is the injuries that can come from wrecking. So heal up quick.
All right. Well, then let's get to it. Well, first, just so we can get this out of the way, I'm just going to say, let's just do shameless plugs. Okay?
Oh, yes.
Quick shameless plugs.
We get to.
Do we have the shameless plug thing up there still?
I think I took it away.
You got to put that one back.
But
that's a great.
All right, Brian, shameless plug.
Shameless
gift
plug.
Idea.
Okay, so I'm going to be doing most of the cycling specific stuff, kind of as a heads up here. Coach Chris is going to be covering most of our run specific stuff, and Coach Dale, for you people who can't decide whether you like swimming, biking, or running, so you just do all three, he's going to be covering those gifts for the triathletes out there. So, from a cycling perspective, or if you're a triathlete and you're looking for something for the bike, or you have someone in your family, someone you really like that you want to give a gift to, the gift of a bike fit.
Absolutely.
Something that's super valuable, something that your person would love for sure, or maybe you want yourself. But it's such a good way to make sure you're getting the most out of yourself, staying injury free, and comfortable on the bike. We always say comfort's one of the biggest thing, and a lot of my stuff on this gift guide deals with staying comfortable because we suffer enough as is.
It's just optimizing the machine you already have, and for you,
Yep. Getting dialed in for sure. Cool. So there's mine. Chris, shameless plug. Bike fit.
My shameless plug is coaching.
Just straight up.
Just straight up coaching, whether it's a run skills session, whether it's one of our coaching packages, or whether it's a strength session. All three things are things runners need, and things that we can give you. So, coaching.
My shameless plug is going to be sweat testing. It is probably if you're an endurance athlete, the majority of endurance athletes are going long these days. Mm-hmm. So the longer that you're going, the more important your hydration is. And this has affected me so heavily over the years that, I think everybody should do it. So sweat testing, sweat sodium concentration testing, or precision hydration testing, that would be an incredible gift for somebody, especially if you know that they deal with hydration issues, whether it's in the summer or whatever. But anybody who's going long really should have their hydration dialed in. It can make or break your performance. So,
and for the bike fit and the sweat testing stuff, you can go to bpc.setmore.com to book that.
Yeah, or just the website. All right, enough of that. Enough of the shameless plugging. Mm-hmm. I'll let you lead off. Be fun with your first. So we're gonna break these down into kind of price points.
Exactly. Yep.
So we're gonna start with like the under $20. Nice gift. Decent gift. Good stocking stuffer type stuff.
So like if you're buying for 50 different people in your family and you can't do $100 stuff for everyone. Yeah. Here you go.
What you
under
got?
20. So under 20.
Hot hands.
Are you zooming in? Here we go. Bam. You can get these at most sporting goods stores. You can get them online, obviously. Personally, I got these at Costco, the place where you go and buy a bunch of things you didn't know you needed.
Oh, yeah.
But these things, like I said, I'm going to be giving you a few things that deal with comfort. One of the best things you can do is upgrading yourself. And by doing that, you get out and you train. So if you're someone who hates the cold winter months, or you know someone who hates the cold winter months, this makes riding and training in cold weather much more bearable. So I use these hand warmers any day where it's 35 and under. I'll keep those hand warmers in my gloves. I'll put them on top of my shoes, under my booties, and it allows me to ride in temperatures that I probably wouldn't otherwise.
Anything else for that?
And the second one.
Oh, yeah.
Giant
Giant water
32-ounce bottles.
I need Vanna White here to. Yeah, 32 ounce. These are the precision hydration bottles. These actually fit perfectly fine in my Bontrager cages that I got. They hold in tight. You can also get what the heck's the name of the other one?
Zaffle,
Zafel,
whatever.
If you just do a search of 32 ounce water bottles,
Zaffle.
I like these because the lids are
Zaffle,
a ton better than the lid mechanism you got on the other ones. Those seem to break and leak. But this essentially gives you, most water bottles are like 24 ounces on the big end.
Yeah, 26.
So between, if you're running 2 bottles, you get an extra 8 ounces out of each, another 16 ounces, which summertime in Memphis, summertime in the South or Mid-South, gotta have that hydration. So there you go.
Cool. Chris, what you got?
So for the $20 and under price points, we have some socks. We got some Body Glide, and I threw this one in here just because it is a little different, but can be motivational, or some books, and I got a couple recommendations that will...
Are they leather bound?
No.
Many leather bound books?
I was wondering where you were going with that. No, so socks. There's a lot of good brands out there. Belega makes great socks. Swiftwick makes great socks. Those are kind of the two that I like to run in. And Body Glide. Body Glide's key. It has saved me from many troubles. Many troubles in running.
A little chef?
Yeah.
A little chef?
Yeah, a little
Chafing?
Yeah. And, they actually make that in his and her styles. I'm not really sure why they make it his and hers. Probably marketing.
It's not for you to know.
Yeah, I'm not a woman, so it doesn't matter. But
fun fact: I'm using the women's chamois butter right now because they were out of the other stuff at the bike shop.
Is it any better?
Yeah, feels the same to
Feels
me.
the same. Okay. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. So Body Glide, and you can get that. They come in tubes like like you'd have on like a deodorant stick or a cream application.
What do you prefer?
I usually use the tube. But if, you got to get some
the cream.
No, the tube is the deodorant stick.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. The deodorant stick is what I use. But if you need the cream for hard to reach areas, like
more creases.
Some we won't get into tube, but others like maybe between your toes or
between your toes.
Yeah, I think that's what everybody's thinking. That would be good. And then books. There's a couple books. One is called 26 Marathons by Meb Keflezighi, and the other one's called Let Your Mind Run by Dina Castor. So there's some good holiday reading right there.
Cool.
All right, so mine for triathletes, Chris kind of stole one of mine, which is socks. I'm a fan of Swiftwick socks. That's pretty much, except for my holiday, when I'm wearing my holiday socks. I wear Swiftwicks most of the time. So they're a great stocking stuffer. And then I've got, let me see if the dorkiest swim
Put it on.
thing.
I really wanted Dale to wear this the whole time.
The dorkiest swim use. I can't get it on with this hat. I'm not gonna spend the time. The front snorkel is. I fought this thing for years. I would not use one, wear one, and then I finally broke down.
Race with that?
No, you can't race.
Then you realize no one cares what you look like at the swimming pool.
Then you realize nobody cares.
You already look like
and I used it, and it is like the biggest help for focusing on your stroke. I mean, because you don't have to worry about breathing and stuff like that. It takes a little getting used to, but it is. I mean, if you want to focus on the front end of your stroke, absolutely one of the best things. And I think it was like $19.
Bam.
Awesome. Sweet. All right, so we're gonna go up. We're gonna go. Let's say like $20 to $60.
20 to 60. All right. Here's an easy one. Something you can get regardless of where you live. A gift card to your local, for me, bike shop. If you're not sure what to get the other person or the person you're buying for, don't go in there and just make something up. Give them a gift card so they can go in there and get what they want. A lot of times, they probably have something in mind that they want and just haven't verbalized it. Do a gift card. It's great for the local bike shop, but it's also good for the person you're gifting it to because they're going to get what they want.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's like, your gift card's a cop out, or gift card's a cop out, but I love them because you can get whatever you want.
The other would be, and again, I'm not going to give you a specific brand, but winter gloves. There's a bunch of different layers, so depending on where you live, you may want a lighter weight versus a heavier weight. But go into your local bike shop and see what they have available. You're not going to see big, massive differences in the quality or the ability to keep your hands warm, and especially when combined with your hand warmers. But a nice pair of winter gloves, you can find them in that 20 to 60 range, and it's going to get people out there training in weather that they may not otherwise. And even if they already have gloves, there's a good chance that those gloves are starting to stink from previous years of sweat and breakdown.
Oh. Yep.
What you got, Chris?
I got
20 to 60.
Got a few things here. Sunglasses. There's a lot of new styles out lately. A good kind to get folks might be the Gooder sunglasses, because the price point's great. They're about $30. Lots of different styles, and you can keep wearing them when you're not running. So
they're good. I've used knockaround sunglasses for a while, and they're kind of in that $15 to $30 price range.
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot of other companies that make sunglasses in that range. Tifosi, Gooder. So those Trigger Point grid foam rollers. For some recovery, post-race or post-run recovery, and kind of even muscle activation. And then something that's kind of cool is called a bib folio. So it's a way for somebody they can put their race bibs in this. They can hang medals up on it. It's kind of like a makeshift medal and bib holder. And then also, I didn't mention it earlier, but like headlamps and blinking lights, that's like a $10 to $40 price range. Those are always great stocking stuffers, especially in the wintertime when the time's changing and most people have to run early in the morning when it's dark or late in the evening when it's still dark. Got to stay safe. So some blinky lights are always good.
Safe.
Or you could just wear Dale's
wear my
Christmas
shirt,
sweater.
My Christmas sweater. If you might be able to see it.
Blinkies
It's
going
blinking.
There. You have to dim these lights.
The hat's supposed to blink, but it's faulty.
All right, Dale, you're up.
All right, so my big gifts for triathletes, both of these are kind of like swim related a little bit, but my $20 to $60 gift is Magic 5 goggles. And so I started using these last year. And so basically what they do, if you haven't heard of them, you scan your face with an app, and then they basically put you into a size of goggles, and they fit inside of your occipital bone so that like you don't like get the massive giant ring on the outside of your eyes, and they stay. Like these are the only goggles that I'm not a lifelong
hold those
swimmer.
Up to the camera there, Dale.
Yeah, here I'll do a little close up here. I'm not a lifelong swimmer, so I probably never learned how to dive correctly into the water without losing goggles. But these are the only
cannonballing. Dale's too busy cannonballing.
These are the only pair of
belly flops
of goggles I've ever been able to dive successfully without them falling off.
Cool.
And that
price point on those?
They're about $54 without any type of a discount.
Gotcha.
You can easily find a code on them, and then for Black Friday they were doing like basically almost a 2-for-1 type deal. So nice. I ordered a few more pair, but they are the most comfortable swim goggles I've ever had.
Nice.
So my other one is this bag. So this transition bag. Or any transition bag. This is just a less expensive one. Xterra makes this one. I think they list it for like $90, but you can find a code pretty much anywhere for Xterra, and I think you can even get this thing down to like 40 or something like that, $50. I mean, but basically it's just a big wide open bag for you to store your stuff. To bring it to transition or bring it to the pool. I use this one more to go to the pool with. So it's got all my fins and buoy and all that stuff in there. And then on the bottom, it's got a kind of a wet clothes, pocket that guards the rest of the backpack from
separate.
Yeah. So there's a couple other, so any type of transition bag is a great gift. Mm-hmm. They can get upwards of a couple $100, but I think I have another Rudy project one that I use that I really like, and I might actually use that one last year. I don't know, but Rudy, I don't know if they still make it, but Agio or Rudy made the same bag for a while. Great bag. I think it was 100 something, maybe 150, but it was an awesome transition bag. Fit absolutely everything.
Nice.
So
Cool.
that's it. So,
All right, we're moving on.
jump it up.
The 60 to 100-ish category. I'm going with tires on this one. So Continental came out with their 5000s, their step up from the 4000s that they had. I used them for the first time last year. Granted, I was riding a little more heavier non-race style tire before that, but it was a very noticeable difference when I hopped on this thing, how smooth it was and how fast it was. So the Continental 5000s, price is going to vary, but you can end up getting a pair of these for probably around $80 or so. The other one,
I just got some for like 65 Black Friday. But
Dale's skewing the curve here
I
with all of
bought
his
I bought everything I needed for the
Fun
next
fact,
season.
Dale
for
spent $782,000 on Black Friday.
The coupon king.
I
over
pretty much
here.
bought everything I needed for next season during Black Friday.
The other is going to be also a set of tires. The Schwalbe Marathon Plus, wire beaded,
I mean, they're beast.
heavy as can be. If you're someone who, say you're on the faster end of your training group, and people are yelling at you for going too hard in the wintertime, throw a pair of those bad boys on in the 28 category. And not only do you not need to carry your flat kit anymore, because if you flat, you're not getting them off, but they're also bomb-proof. I've never flatted these
And you'll
things.
only have to buy one pair ever.
One ever. So it's like the gift that keeps on giving. I usually put them on in the wintertime, and I'll ride them through the winter, and it looks like they have not been touched when I take them off. There is a lot of cursing and a lot of sweat. It's a workout just getting them on and off. However, that would be my recommendation. And my last one, if you're wanting to prune down, make the nutrition an easier part of your off season, and eating healthier, the Instant Pot.
Ooh, good one.
Yeah, Black Friday, which is gone.
Yeah.
So Dale continuing to mention this, not having anymore.
I almost bought an extra one.
You can get these for sub $100. I use my Instant Pot like 3 times a week typically,
Yeah, same
making
here.
big batches of black beans
Yeah, we've got
or
one too.
rice grains, whatever you want. But it allows eating healthier to be a lot easier.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a good one. Yeah, I was
makes
wondering
sense.
what that was up there. The Insta.
Yeah. So my 60 to 100, I'll start by I have a tire recommendation. The
with
Panaracer
'em.
Gravel King SKs for those of you who get on the gravel. Again, they're not like you're going wider tires, so they're going to be a little heavier. They're also tubeless. So I've bought the 43C ones for my gravel bike.
Yeah, I was rolling some 38s
Yeah,
at the gravel race I did.
yeah.
Super smooth.
Yeah, I mean they're great, and they, I've, you end up riding on the road a lot and on the gravel, so they seem to be lasting a good long time, and with a 43C tire, you can go pretty low tire pressure if you need to, and again, if you're on the faster end of your training group, just burp some PSI out of those suckers, and you'll be working harder in no time.
I bet those roll a lot better than those Schwalbes.
I don't know.
I know they do.
All right, so my other one is this Craft. So this is a couple years old, but I think the one they have going on right now is called the Breakaway, Craft Breakaway running jacket. And I used to be totally against running jackets because I would just sweat. I mean, I sweat so much when I run as it is. But this thing is really, really, really vented. And I think even the new one has some open laser cut back holes for you to vent some heat out the back. But it also has a hood and it'll.
That's about as lightweight as it gets, too.
Absolutely, yeah. and it'll pack into a pocket, and then has a little cord that you can hook around your waist if you need to take it off completely. But I wear this thing a ton when it starts getting chilly, and it even the way that they do it, it looks funny when you're doing it, but you can run, take it down over your shoulders for a little bit if you really need to vent and you're going to end up putting it back on. take it over your shoulders and you can still run with it and it doesn't get caught up, and then throw it back on and zip it up when you get cold again. So awesome jacket, Craft Breakaway, super lightweight training jacket.
My 60 to 100 range, I'm going to start off with the Roll Recovery R8 roller. It's about $129, but again, you can probably find a discount on that somewhere. They work great for targeting quads and hamstrings and calves, so I recommend that. And then sticking with the recovery theme is a massage package.
It's a good one.
I think it's a good one. For 60 to 100 bucks, you can find somebody a great massage for at least an hour.
Yeah, you could totally find somebody on the side of Germantown Parkway to massage you for an hour.
We'll work for. I like it.
Yeah, so I think those would be thoughtful gifts, especially for someone that's maybe just, run like a marathon or done their, first half marathon or longer distance run. So
I do have one more.
No, Dale, we're moving on.
No, we're not moving on. Like with all the like online virtual riding that's going on and everybody loving it, like getting a membership, like a year membership to something like Ruvi or Zwift or something like that. I actually don't even know if Zwift does year to year memberships, but I know Ruvi does, and that's what I've been using. I'm not really into like the online racing thing. If I'm gonna race, I'm gonna race other live people. Mm-hmm. But Ruvi, I think for a year is like $75, and you can do all the virtual courses. They actually have AR rides now, where they put like the little person in a actual like Google Street View map, and then there's tons of like you can do all your interval workouts and training peak workout of the day and all that stuff. Yeah. So that's a
you can go and ride the iconic climbs in Europe if you want to.
It's a good option.
Cool.
All right, step it up.
100 to 500. Clearly a big range here, but I'm going with, sitting over here, my prop, my Wahoo Element Bolt, or you can go with the Element, or you could go with the Roam. I've been digging the Wahoo. One of the things I like the most about it is it syncs super easy with Training Peaks. We use Training Peaks as coaches. That's how we deliver our workouts to our athletes. It pairs with your phone super easy. You can change all your data pages through the app, the Wahoo Companion app. So you can go in, you can show what you want on your computer or on your bike computer, rather than having to go through data fields within your computer to change stuff. You can have as many or as few, like live, you can scroll up and down and it'll show you more or less data fields on your screen, which can be handy as well. But the biggest thing I like is you turn it on, it syncs with Training Peaks and says, hey, do you want to do today's workout? And you say yes, and it laps everything for you, tells you what your ranges are. You get your text messages if you want it from it. You can send out a live tracking link to family members or whoever wants to follow you. If you have your phone with you, you got to have your phone with you for that.
Same with Garmin.
But it's just so user friendly. I've had quite a few athletes with Garmin's that have had trouble. I think some of their newer Garmin's are coming out and making it easier, but it's just been so easy to take what I have on Training Peaks.
Yeah, the Training Peaks part has been pretty stellar.
Yeah,
for
and
people.
this will,
especially as coaches, so you don't have to answer be an IT person all the time.
Yep. No, it's super easy. So the difference in models, like the Bolt is smaller, the Element is larger. You got two different light indicators, which just tells you like what zone you're in. So this tells power, or it can tell you what heart rate zone. If you go with the larger, it'll tell you, you can have like one side being your power zones, the other side being your heart rate zones. So it's a really quick, easy way to just look down and see what you're at, even if you don't have that.
They have one bigger one now, right?
That's the Element. Element's the bigger one, and then they have the Roam.
That's what I was, yeah.
The Roam is their color. It's more of like, if you're going places, you want to use your map a ton. I generally don't use map a ton.
Yeah, I don't either.
The other thing, this pairs with Ride with GPS, which is an account, I use Ride with GPS. And again, it syncs. As soon as you sync your Wahoo and your Ride with GPS, super easy to do through that app.
It's up there.
You go to start a route, and it pulls your routes, and you can scroll down and say, yeah, I want to start this one, and bam, you're off and rolling.
Nice.
So for non-tech savvy people and people that use Training Peaks, super handy. And then it auto uploads, which is nice too.
Chris, what you got?
I got in the $100 to $500 range. Starting off with something real simple, gift cards. Again, if you don't know what to get a runner, get them a gift card. Most running shoes, if you go into your local running store, are they're going to be over $100, around 120 to 130 with tax. You could get them a gift card and kind of specify for several running shoe fits, or just a gift card in general so they can pick up whatever they need. Again, it's not a thoughtless gift because a lot of runners are very picky and very hard to shop for, so that would be a good one. A couple other ones are on the electronic end, headphones and GPS watches. I don't run with headphones. I'm married to somebody that loves running with headphones. With the headphones, you just want to make sure that you keep the receipt with that, because your lights are distracting you.
You have a bad experience? Or?
Well, I mean, if you're getting it for somebody, nobody's ears are the same size, and so you want to make sure that that fits when they get it. Beats by Dre has some headphones now that loop around the ear and they're Bluetooth.
Thought I forgot about Dre.
Yeah, no. Dale never forgets about Dre. That's funny. So that makes some good ones. And then there are obviously lots of other companies out there that do those as well. So that's a good one if you know that somebody is running on the treadmill a lot and likes to listen to music. And then what's that?
I was going to say, I just got one of the athletes I was riding with last weekend says the new AirPods, the AirPod Pros.
Oh, really?
They have where it will actually enhance what's going on around you too. So it's got noise canceling, but it also has an enhancement. Huh. And he says he uses it when he's like walking his dog and stuff, and he can hear leaves crinkling when he's walking. So if you're someone who, we don't promote this, nor do I do it, but if you're someone who like exercises with both headphones in, that could be an option. I haven't used it, but just as a heads up, apparently it you can hear what's going on still.
Yeah, the only time I recommend you would use in headphones would be if you're on a treadmill, or I wouldn't necessarily recommend this, but it's probably a little safer as if you're doing like a race. If you're out training on your own on a busy road,
most races don't allow. Yeah,
most races don't allow them, but usually the treadmill is like the best spot as a runner to pop those in, and make sure they're sweat proof. That's a spot of the body where
and don't wear them when you're trail running.
No,
don't do that.
You'll be hated
unless you want to get run over by someone on a mountain.
You're asking for an injury. And then the other one in the $100 to $500 range are GPS watches. Garmin makes a lot of. It's probably the biggest hold on the market for runners right now.
Said that.
Have I?
Yeah, I think you just
did.
I think you let off with GPS.
Watches.
I thought I let off with gift cards.
No.
All right. Well, there you go. Those are mine.
Oh, Chris.
Yeah.
Because Dale
I ran too hard.
Ginkgo biloba would be a good one for you there, Chris. Stocking stuffer. Helps with memory.
Oh, yeah. I do need that.
All right. So my 100 to 500 is so I'm a value person. I don't want to spend every dollar I have on the nicest of the nicest. So I always look for what is the most functional for the money. So the Smith Optics Podium time trial helmet. It's one of the short rounded back helmets.
The more you're talking about this, I'm pretty sure this made last year's too.
I'm pretty sure I did. I'm pretty sure this is a repeat. But I'm still using this helmet, and I love it because it's got it's a shield helmet.
Talking trash.
It's got a shield, short helmet, round back, great locking system on the back, and comes with a case and all that stuff. And it's like $200 or $240 as compared to a lot of the Casc Bambino and cat-like helmets and stuff like that are $400 or $500.
Expensive.
So this one, I love it, and it's about that 200 to 240 mark there. The other thing that I would recommend if you have a triathlete in mind is a swim skin. I've used up to this point. I've used Hoob swim skins. I'm gonna probably get a new one this season. I didn't get that on Black Friday, but
That's a surprise.
I missed out. But swim skin, especially if you're like live in the area that we live in where it's hot all summer and you almost never get to wear your wetsuit, a swim skin is a great gift. And they're I would say you could probably find one for $100, but probably more likely $150 to $200. You can find discounts wherever, but swim skin would be a great option for a triathlete, especially when it lives in the warmer climate there.
Cool.
All right, 500
Step it
plus,
up, buddy.
500 plus. Obviously, this can be a huge range here.
This means you really like the person.
Oh yeah.
Or you're wanting something really nice.
Or you're buying
back.
for yourself.
Or you're buying for yourself. Yes. I'm pretty sure I did this one last year, but the Asioma Fevero Duo
You did.
power meters, still liking them. And the other one, and this is, you pick the brand, but a gravel bike. There's
N+1,
more,
baby.
More and more gravel bikes or gravel events popping up. It's something that our team's gonna be doing more of. A lot of folks in Memphis are really enjoying. So picking up a gravel bike or giving a gravel bike to that person you love on your list, because you'd have to love them to be dropping this kind of money.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's love.
Shout out to Allied. Allied makes their Able, which a very capable off-road bike, and so there you go.
Yeah.
The power meter, I didn't get that specific brand Brian mentioned. It's an awesome brand, but I got a gift. That was a gift one year, a power meter. Let me tell you something. It's a good one to get.
Yeah,
It is.
You will make somebody very happy if they don't have one, getting them that.
Yeah, and nowadays, like you can get power meters for under $400.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not the most expensive thing you could buy. Obviously, there are some that are pretty expensive. I think those Asiomas are what, like
about seven.
Seven
I mean,
or-
you can find them for cheaper.
Dual-sided.
but they're dual-sided. Yeah. And they actually seem to work, so that's good.
Yeah, they're good ones.
But yeah, any power meter would be a great gift for cyclists or triathlete. What else you got, Chris?
Me, I put one thing down because, again, this is a big price range here. I put some recovery boots, inflatable recovery boots. So Normatec makes some on the higher price end.
Yeah.
You have a brand.
I have Air Relax,
Yeah.
and actually those are around $400.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they're pretty good. I use them quite a bit during the season, and they seem to work pretty well.
Yeah.
And they didn't break the bank.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. I've used Dale's before after some trail runs, and they actually really help. It's not really a placebo effect type thing. It's actually beneficial. Another one would be if you have somebody that lives in a climate where it gets dark, it rains a ton, there's a lot of snow. I mean, again, you'd be putting it down here, but that'd be like a treadmill. We bought one last year. It's a Soul F80 treadmill. That's just throwing that brand out there. It was really good. Is a really good treadmill.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to work this in here. I'm trying to work it in. Anyways, so
Sounds like a sales pitch coming, Chris.
I'm not pitching anything. I'm just saying it's a good brand. It's a really actually is a really good one. Do your homework on those. Make sure the engine is very reliable and kind of a heavy duty one. If you know the person will be using it a lot, and I think that's a great gift for somebody that's a committed runner, that they're in it day in and day out, and it's dark, rainy, snows a lot.
Yep.
I know there are a lot of running companies up north in Boston that purchase tons of treadmills and have buildings where they just have classes like all through the winter for people that do that, because it's such a needed thing.
Yeah.
So
I use mine all the time.
yeah, and if you got kids,
No excuses, man.
yeah.
One less excuse.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is going to segue into Dale's first one here.
Yeah. So I just bit the bullet on this one. Black Friday. Got
$736,000, folks.
I got the
you really were getting.
I'm
Black
putting in
Friday.
a smart trainer. We personally, Bryant and I both got the Saris H3. It's the new, we used to be called the Hammer. It used to be called Cyclops, but now it's Saris. The H3 is just a smart trainer. Has a lot of the same specs, and sometimes like the flywheel is actually heavier than the one they put on the kicker. Same accuracy ratings, same max power ratings, but it was like $200 or $300 cheaper than the kicker. Works with Zwift, works with Ruvi, works with all like Full Gas, all those out there.
Works with the Wahoo.
Works well with the Wahoo products. So I'll say it's a beast. It's heavy as all get out, but it's got like a 20-pound flywheel in it, which helps simulate more road conditions, especially when you stop pedaling for a second. But that trainer has been good so far, and the app, like using it with Ruvi is good, but they also have, like, if you just want to do, they have their own little app. You can like calibrate it and upgrade the firmware and stuff like that on it, and do like just like an erg mode style ride on it. But to use it to its full capability, you'd need something like Full Gas, Trainer Road, Zwift, Ruvi, something like that.
Yep. And if you have a pre-built workout on your computer, you can have your bike computer, like this Wahoo, will control that trainer,
right?
And so it'll adjust resistance levels to keep you in the power zone.
Yeah, the H3 is Bluetooth capable, so it speaks with all these new Bluetooth computers and sensors and all that stuff.
Oh, technology.
The other big things that I put on there is a disc wheel. If you have a triathlete and you want them to like flip their, stuff,
keeping PG,
flip their stuff on Christmas Day or whatever holiday you celebrate, a disc wheel is a good gift. They may only use it like 10 times a year,
tops,
but it is by far like the most aerodynamic rear wheel that you can put on a bike. So. My recommendation is a friend of ours locally who makes them, Frank Renault, Ren Multisport. Look him up. And as far as like the aerodynamics and hubs and everything, he actually makes aluminum brake track disc wheels, but they're still super light, and the hubs are smooth as butter. They sound like an airplane going down the road, just like you want them to. And I mean, I've had all my fastest.
And the price point, I mean, you can spend a ton of money. But these come in on
I think they're
the
like
lower end price point.
I want to say they're under $800.
Yeah.
Which for a disc wheel, that's pretty dang cheap.
Like you struggle to find used ones for that price. Typically, used other brands.
And you can't beat the service because Frankie will. I mean, if anything goes wrong with him, you just call him and he'll work to make it right.
What'd we miss is the big question.
Miss?
That's all of it that we got. But what did we miss? Post up the stuff that you're loving. Put something down for each price point. And if you got links, link them.
Throw it in the comments.
Let's see what everyone else is loving right now.
Yeah, so that's all we got. We appreciate you guys hanging out, listening, watching, and we will catch you guys next time. Adios.
Peace.